About 7,000 years ago, around that Scandinavian area, the white human showed up. Okay. Even Farrakhan spoke about a time when they didn't exist here on this planet.
Real life.
If it ain't real life, it just ain't real life. Street stars. You know what time it is.
Another reason why I decided I was going to leave America for a little while is, I don't really feel like it's safe for me to be trying to raise children out there. You feel me? Because if something happens, I got to be able to move lightly. And it's a lot of things that got me concerned about my home, about my country, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. A lot of things got me concerned about it. Because if China invades Taiwan, we will see destruction on American mainland. There's no way around it. There's no way to sugarcoat that. The situation can be austere. Circumstances can indeed be exigent. So I feel like more awareness needs to be spread to these topics because if something happens and our power infrastructure goes out, that's like being set back to the Stone Age. Well, people cannot survive there in America like that. Nobody has those skills. And if you can't go to YouTube to figure out how to do it, most people not going to be able to figure it out. Here, everybody already lives off the land. You feel me? Everybody got some type of business or hustle that they have. You ain't getting no government benefits or things like that. So just try to stay ahead of the curve. You feel me? Because there's a lot going on. We got this 3-eye atlas. You feel me? Nobody's talking about this, but we have an interstellar object that is traveling up to our solar system. It is not behaving like a comet. And it's making its own light. If it's making its own light, that could be nuclear powered, solar, somebody it could be technological. And if it's technological, how are you gonna explain this to people, bro? Ontological shock is a real thing. When when they bombed Hiroshima and Nagasaki, a lot of people thought that the leadership was dead. Thousands of people committed suicide. You feel me? They believe 8% of white American males will commit suicide if we have some type of landing event. But that's what it's looking like.
Right.
It's looking like that. You feel me? Because it's all set up to have a direction change right around the sun using that gravitational pull. If that takes place, that's why I told everybody to get Luis Elizondo's book Imminent. He named the book Imminent for this very reason, I believe. So, you know, very powerful people that I know said they're not making plans past next year because the world's going to be a mess. I'm not saying it's true, but it's looking like it. You feel me? And you heard it right here first. It's looking like it. You feel me? So I got my colony project. We done grabbed up some land out here. I got my colony project. The website will be up in a couple days, and we're gonna be taking in some families that can live self-sustained because there's truth is stranger than fiction, man. You feel me? Something is going on, and I almost believe I just figured it out.
Wow. I'm gonna have to go look into that, big homie, because that sounds wild.
That's what's
Right.
going on, Rook. You gotta look into
Right.
this. You feel
You
me?
gotta look into that.
This shit all started when a Harvard professor, Avi Loeb, took that money from private investors to go scrub the ocean floor in areas where they seen comets hit the ground, hit the surface, and go to the bottom of the ocean. They scrubbed these areas and they found spherules and technological devices and wires that was not made by human beings. They went and found this shit. This is made public record. Ever since then, it's been a lot of concerns about Oumuamua. Oumuamua is an interstellar object that came into our solar system and went back out the other direction. That is impossible to do if it's a comet. So, just want to put this information out there. I'm not trying to have people in a panic, but
Correct.
people need to pay attention to what's going on. The way it's looking, we may be visited by something or a group of people or something along those lines. So I'm just gonna put that out there.
That's wild. Um, damn. That got me thinking. I seen something about it, but I didn't really like dive into it. I'm about to do my research now.
For sure, bro.
Facts.
Look into that. Look into that, bro. That's the real thing. Shit like that keeps me up at night because think about it, bro. If a group of people, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it like this. About 7,000 years ago, around that Scandinavian area, the white human showed up. Okay. Even Farrakhan spoke about a time when they didn't exist here on this planet. Their DNA only goes back 7,000 years. Then we also seen this group ban abortions because their birth rate has been in decline. Now, the alleles in their skin, where did that come from? You see what I'm saying? This is the only group of people on the planet who have tried to colonize everybody. If you was originally from this place, why would the sunlight burn your skin? Every other indigenous population on the planet is black, brown skinned people. So if they could show up here, somebody else could show up here. It's only mathematics. Mathematically, it'll be impossible for us to be the only species. Impossible. And it's like our government is drip feeding, drip feeding, drip feeding to lead us up into something. Since when have we ever seen congressional hearings being made public where you got a guy named David Grush who confronted the inspector general about interdimensional beings?
Yeah, that's never happened.
That's never happened before. And people got bills, people got relationships, people have children, people have jobs. It's hard to think about and work and keep this on the front of your mind when they got you trapped in this matrix. And that was my whole thing. Like, man, eventually I got to escape the matrix because they're keeping us stuck with one set of science, man. You feel me? Everything boils down to these secret organizations because, bro, the post office is a secret organization. And people don't understand that everything that is created and controlled everywhere goes back to some company. And I feel like somebody that sold us out. They asked at this congressional hearing, did they know about any agreements made between U.S. politicians and non-human intelligences? You know what the answer was?
What's that?
He said, I could talk to you about this in a private setting. What the fuck? Like, who is choosing for us? I know who it is. I feel like I didn't track it down, and it's almost like movie stuff. But that's why they put so much in the movies because they don't want us to believe that the supernormal exists because they working for it. That's a fact. Because, bro, a Ouija board is an actual portal. They used to sell Ouija boards at the Walmart as a toy for children.
Oh yeah. Do they still sell them?
You can still buy a Ouija board.
Yeah, you still can buy it, right?
So it's like, okay, that is blatantly targeting children for supernatural forces. And then when I study through history, if the ancient ancestors indeed were aliens, whatever, they would demand child sacrifice. What is up with that? You feel me? It's the same thing. It's the same bilateral condition because it outrages me that I done made this into a business, but it's a passion of mine. You feel me? Bro, I never bought this many tampons in my life. I got a little sister, but you got 100 little girls, you feel me, with no tampons. Like, that's wild. Why? Because if some of their sisters got kidnapped and murdered and raped and tortured, all because of these fucking deities and demons that these people then channeled and made contact with. And that's just the bottom line right there. I know it's going to be controversial, but it's the truth, man, because it all boiled down to the same purpose why King James in 1647 and 47 clergymen, might have been 1603, and 47 other clergymen edited the Bible. When they removed the book of Enoch out the Bible and they kept it for themselves, that's what all of this bullshit is about, man. But if you're not afraid, you stand a better chance because these people play crazy and they use dark forces to get their way on people. You see what I'm saying? So when Gene Deal said he seen Diddy praying with the dove and they killed the dove, it's the same black magic. This shit comes up everywhere all the time, straight up.
Shout out Reallyfe Street Starz, nigga. Moolah. Hey.